Look up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's
the Krypton Report. Welcome to the Krypton Report. I am your host, Tyler, and here we talk about all things Kryptonian, the Supergirl TV series, anything from sci-fi to comics, anything with Superman and Supergirl. The Krypton Report is part of the Southgate Media Group, which you can find us on Facebook at Krypton Report, Twitter at Krypton Report, KryptonReportPod@gmail.com, and then you can find us at SouthgateMediaGroup.com. Also, you can find me, Tyler, at JTY Patrick on Twitter, as well as my lovely co-host and wife, Jania, at Jania Patrick on iTunes. And we ask that you please leave us a review if you can. Send us any feedback. Let us know how we're doing, because we would love to work with you and let us know how we're doing. Now, on with the show.
And welcome back. With me is, as always, the beautiful, the one, the only, Jania.
You are too sweet.
I try. And this episode we're calling News, and Trailers. Or just news and trailers. Because we have so much stuff to talk about, and we've been building up. And I'm a little upset because we've just been so busy with prepping for Selah's birth, and now she's born and she's here. We just haven't got to do everything we wanted to do. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try, our first thing is we're going to talk about the Krypton TV series trailer. Now, when this show was started, we named it Krypton Report because we were going to talk about Supergirl and Krypton, the series.
Yep.
Krypton, the series was announced back 2013, 2014, around the time that Gotham was being considered. It was shortly after Man of Steel. And now it's officially been picked up by Sci-Fi for 2018 to premiere. Yeah. Like that is just slow. But anyways, they released a trailer. And then Sci-Fi took it offline. So we couldn't find it. We watched it. So we're going to try to recant and react what we can. It is supposed to be a prequel to Man of Steel, and it's supposed to be about Kal-El's grandfather. And that's pretty much what we know. It looks good. I mean, it looks, sci-fi, like it's going to fit in well. We see, like, it looks like the key. We see the Superman symbol light up with the Superman colors. So that's kind of cool. So maybe that'll help explain how Clark's suit was on the ship in Man of Steel. But, the one thing is, Kryptonians only have powers on Earth. So they're not really any special kind of people. I don't know. Like, I'm excited for this trailer. Mm-hmm. I'm interested in this series. I'm going to watch it for sure. But at the same time, I'm interested in what they're going to do, being that it's about Superman's grandfather. Right. And I mean, I know they couldn't get Russell Crowe to be on the show, but you could find someone who looks like a young Russell Crowe. Sure. And do more of like Jor-El, like the final stages of Krypton before the destruction. Because what stories are they going to tell?
We might get a little bit of Jor-El, like a young Jor-El, like a kid Jor-El, which might be really interesting. Here's the thing that I think about it. It's going to be hit or miss, that's the thing. I think that people who, love Superman are going to give this a shot. Or, Supergirl, even. They're going to give this whole show a shot. I think other people are not going to know what they're coming into. So maybe with the fans, depending on how you guys feel, to be honest, some of you might be like, oh, this is too far gone from comics and everything like that. And others might be actually interested in this different world, for lack of a better term,
Yeah, I mean, it has the potential to be a really cool sci-fi show, but at the same time, like, tying into Earth or having Superman, like, it's neat, but at the same time, it's weird. Like, at least it's going to be comparisons with Gotham. We know that. But at least with Gotham, you see young Bruce.
Yeah.
And we've seen people in that universe younger and their rise and their beginning. This is two generations before Clark comes to Earth.
Yeah.
So
who are we going to have that we can recognize and correlate to Superman and Supergirl?
Yeah, I mean, we have, like I said, like Jor-El's father. Okay, a character that we never really talk about or know much about. So, well, like I said, I'm going to give it a shot. I wish we could watch the trailer at this moment and really talk about it. And we're just trying to piece back what we saw. You basically saw images. You saw Krypton explode.
Yeah.
Talking about hope. It looks intriguing, and we'll wait till, I guess, 2018 to find out.
I would say everyone who's a super fan, definitely give it a shot. You know, see what it's like and go from there. You know, can't hurt.
Exactly. Now, continuing in the TV vein, we'll jump over to Supergirl. Supergirl has announced that Cat Grant and Superman are coming back for the final episode.
Woohoo!
Which is exciting. We get the bookend with Superman, the beginning and the end. But they've cast somebody to be in the final episode of Supergirl. And I'm not sure how I feel about this. They cast somebody, ironically, an actor who played a very small part in Man of Steel, to be General Zod.
For the final episode?
Yeah. And my thing was,
okay.
I felt like Allura and sister, Astrid, was very Zod-like.
Right.
And it was more like Supergirl's Zod.
Right.
And we got Non in the first season, who was one of Zod's flunkies, who was more Zod-like than Non-like.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting Zod. But why?
Who is this actor that you're talking about?
His name is Mark something. In Man of Steel, he's one of the construction workers at the beginning that's on the oil rig that's blowing up that Clark saves. I can point him out to you if we turn on the movie. But he's Zod, which, cool. But this is our fourth version of Zod.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about Zod coming into play.
I don't either. Now, hold that thought. Because we're going to move on. We're going to segue here in a minute to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Sticking with, like they said, the TV angle here. Did you see the announcement that Jeff Johns and WB made about their releasing their own DC streaming service in the fall?
I did not see that.
It'll be a subscription monthly where it's all DC content. And the two pilots shows they've ordered for this is season 3 of Young Justice.
Okay.
And a Teen Titans live action series.
Woohoo.
Produced by Greg Berlanti. Go figure.
That sounds awesome.
No other details are known as far as will it tie into the established Arrowverse or whatever they want to call it now. The Berlanti-verse. I guess the people who were developing Teen Titans on TNT, when that kind of fell through, they shuffled it to make it kind of the pilot series idea for this new DC streaming service. So that's awesome right there, because it's going to have, we know for sure it's going to have Nightwing, Starfire, Beast Boy.
Bam.
We know for sure. Oh, and Raven. We know those 4 are for sure confirmed.
Have we ever seen a live action Beast Boy?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
No, we have not.
That would be awesome.
And I know Phil's excited because we're going to get Nightwing. And then this is how we're going to get our 3rd season of Young Justice. Which, now, the reason why I told you to hold your thought is think about all the possibilities for a DC streaming service. Now, the CW Seed has a lot of content, like it shows Constantine, it shows the old Flash, it has some of the direct-to-DVD DC animated films. But think about, you have Batman 66, you have Wonder Woman, you have all these cartoons that they've had from the years. I mean, even back to the Super Friends. You have the legend, The Adventures of Superman with George Reeves.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Reeves. And think about, you have all these DC animated movies and cartoons, and you know, I mean, like right now, like there's some on Netflix, there's some, like I said, on CWC, there's some here, but they all migrated to one place.
So my question would be, are they going to start pulling out like their new movies, their new animated films and stuff like that, and putting them on there? Like when The Killing Joke came out, for instance, is that going to come out, or you know, another movie like that going to come out on the DC streaming service.
Right. Like, what's the time turnaround? But the other thing is, what if they made a short-lived Superman series?
Yeah.
With the already established, since we're getting Zod, and this is where I was leading to. If we're getting Zod, what if we could do, on the streaming service, a Superman series?
I think that it would be a shame to keep Zod on Supergirl and to let him be a Supergirl villain.
I agree.
Like they're trying to end this season as showing Zod as like the next big, villain of the next season.
I wonder if that's how they're doing it, or if Rhea pulls Zod or something.
I have an issue. We've talked about this before. I have an issue with too many crossover villains between Superman and Supergirl. Supergirl needs to stand on her own. This is what I said from day one. She needs to be able to hold her own and be a different entity than Superman.
I agree. And I've said that multiple times on this podcast.
Yes.
And I mean, there's some villains I don't mind, like she fought Parasite. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Metallo. That's cool because you'd always do like another version of Metallo.
Right.
Something like that. So those are fine. I mean, they did the female Indigo, the female version of Brainiac. Yes. Yeah. So she didn't have to fight quote unquote Brainiac. Right. So I just think.
But that was done well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think the possibility of what this DC streaming service could open up is awesome. Like, a short, just like maybe a 12-episode, 10-episode season of Superman. I'm just thinking about think of all the shows that they could pull forward just to have content, but they're going to have to add new content to make it worth, the while a lot. But bring back Constantine for a short period of time. And then, of course, there's... since we're still on the TV, we have Black Lightning that's coming to CW in the fall by Berlanti. It was originally supposed to be at Fox, but then Fox turned it down and the CW picked it up. Don't know if that's going to tie into the already established universe, but it should. I mean, even if it's on an alternate Earth like Supergirl is, and they do something where it's not so directly connected, but it is in the multiverse. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's kind of the news catch-up with the TV stuff right now, with what's going on with Supergirl and Krypton. Keeping our eyes out on that. Like I said, we got a season 3. We're coming up on the series end for this season.
Yeah.
And now we're going to jump over and do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the DCEU. We've done it before on the show, but there's been a lot of stuff. First things first, we're coming up on Wonder Woman. And wow, every trailer I've seen for this just looks better and better. We got our tickets. We are pumped. We are ready to go.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I don't think I've been this excited about a DC film. I'll be honest with you. I think the trailers and stuff are more exciting to me than even Batman v Superman.
Well, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think part of the power of Batman v Superman was I was excited for it because it was the first time that the two were together, my favorite two, and they had just been plugging it along for so long, And then Wonder Woman here just looks fun.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks like a good time, and I'm all about let's have a good time with Wonder Woman. So the trailers, and then we got our Justice League trailer.
Yeah.
And what did you think of the Justice League trailer?
Epic, honestly. The one person I'm most excited for is Jason Momoa, of course, is Aquaman, because we've never had an Aquaman like that before.
No, we have not.
And that's the thing. Like, everyone, there's a lot of people who's really excited about Flash too, and I get that. Flash is cool. Don't get me wrong. But the whole point of my excitement for Aquaman is the fact that we are experiencing him on a completely different level than we have ever experienced him before. As far as TV, movie kind of scene goes.
I know. I mean, we met Momoa, and I was like, first thing I said to him was like, I'm so excited you're Aquaman.
I didn't know what to say to him.
It's one of those things where you don't automatically think of him when you are casting or looking at an Aquaman, but as soon as you say it, that's perfect. If they make Black Manta the main villain and then kind of build Ocean Master up in the background, like as to be like revealed as like a villain in a sequel or something,
Yeah.
and I think that would be better than trying to make him straight up a villain right off the bat.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
And then, moving on along, they announced they want to do a Nightwing film with the director of the Lego Batman movie. It's a live action Nightwing film.
Could be cool. Could be cool.
Could be
Depending
awesome.
on who they cast.
There's been a lot of talk about casting, and I know one of the fan favorites has been Zac Efron.
Zac Efron would be kind of cool. They're not going to do it now, but Tyler Hoechlin would have been really cool too.
At one point, there was talk when they wanted to bring Nightwing into BVS about Adam Driver doing it, but that was before he became Kylo Ren. So
Still could work. It could work.
consider he's only got one more Star Wars movie to do.
Yeah.
Still could happen. And the other one is a Batgirl movie directed by Joss Whedon.
Sweet.
It's exciting. Girl Power Joss is going to do Batgirl.
Love it.
I love it too, but what I hate, okay, and I hate using the word hate, is we have, am I right to count this, Jania? Batgirl, Nightwing, Batman, which we have Matt Reeves set to direct, the Batman, Green Lantern Corps, Flash, Black Adam, Justice League Dark, which has a director, supposedly. And is that it? Those are all... Oh, Man of Steel 2. So how many is that?
8.
And Gotham City Sirens. Did I say that one?
No.
So that's like 9 movies that are in talk or announced in some way for the DCEU. But we don't have any confirmation of when, now, or what. All we know is that Aquaman is the next one up after Justice League.
Cool.
We don't even have confirmation of a Justice League 2, which bothers me in the sense that I don't like the idea of we're getting a Justice League movie without the full league.
Yes.
You know, we know that Superman's supposed to appear in it, but I don't want to see a movie where, like, the majority of the film there's no Superman. Then he shows up, and then, we're still missing Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to have a Justice League movie that stands as the only Justice League movie that doesn't get the whole league.
It would be a shame.
And let's see. There's talk. Now, we're moving on. Man of Steel 2, there's talk for the director to be Matthew Vaughn. I am completely behind this and want it to happen.
Okay, remind me what Matthew Vaughn's done before.
Matthew Vaughn has directed such amazing films as, with Henry Cavill, might I add, Stardust, X-Men First Class, Kingsman 2.
Awesome.
He's one of my favorite directors.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has a way of doing... I originally thought he would be the best director for Suicide Squad. Because he has a way of doing ultra-violence with humor like he did in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Okay, so... But now, as of yesterday, they've announced that they're also considering Matthew Vaughn to direct The Flash. So right now they have Matthew Vaughn in talks to either direct Man of Steel 2 or The Flash, or they also have Robert Zemeckis they're talking about directing The Flash, which would be outstanding. Robert Zemeckis directing such classic films as Romancing the Stone, the Back to the Future films, The Polar Express, the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol, more recently, the one with Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard, where they're the spies. It was called, why am I blanking? We saw it at Redbox. Oh well. He directed Flight with Denzel Washington, Castaway.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the man is a legend. But if that's where they're going to go, I'd almost prefer Vaughn to direct The Flash. And my candidate, I think, would be awesome for Man of Steel 2 would be Brad Bird. Brad Bird, you say? Brad Bird has directed such amazing films as The Iron Giant, The Incredibles, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, and the upcoming Incredibles 2. I think he has that truth and justice sense of filmmaking that we need for Superman. He also directed Tomorrowland, which was a decent movie, but had its flaws. And then the last kind of bit of news, we're kind of skipping around and hitting what we can, is supposedly in Man of Steel 2, maybe, or at some point, he might fight Black Adam, so Cavill might fight The Rock.
That would be intense.
And you know what? Yes, it would, but at the same time, I want Brainiac as the villain. I want a villain for Superman that's not only physical, but it's also like Brainiac would create a paranoia, like, for the world. And Superman's supposed to be intelligent. You know, he's supposed to be highly intelligent, and it would make him use his mind and more instead of just being another, like, fist fight. And that's what I see with Black Adam. Now, if they did something where Shazam, like Superman appears in the Black Adam or in the Shazam film, kind of like the short that we've watched, Superman Shazam, short, The Return of Black Adam. If it was something like that, I'm okay with. But I don't want to see, like, Man of Steel 2, Superman versus Black Adam.
No, I agree completely. I think that your thought process on how Superman 2 or Man of Steel 2 should work out would be a lot better. Because let's think about all of the Superman movies we have seen.
He fights Zod, which is fine.
Yeah, epic.
Epic, so. Easy. You know, that's... I hate to throw it back to this, but look at the Chris Nolan structure. You know, we have the League of Shadows in the first one, the Ra's al Ghul, the mentor-esque villain, okay? Then we have the villain that plays on his mind, and with Two-Face and with the Joker, and then we have his physical best in Bane. Superman fought Zod, which was supposed to be more like his physical opponent. Right. We need his mental opponent, who challenges his morals now.
We had Superman and Doomsday.
Yeah, who was even more of his physical better.
Yeah.
You know, you're exactly right.
And then now, I get what you're saying. There shouldn't be so many...
It shouldn't be just a physical battle for Superman. And Brainiac, because Brainiac can bring on... I mean, you can compare people, say, Brainiac to Ultron. But I don't feel that Ultron served his purpose like he could have to be the very scary villain that he can be. Yeah. The idea that the world that we live in is controlled so much rely on technology, and the fact that the villain can control all technology, like...
It's terrifying.
Yes, like if you've ever seen... The movie wasn't that great, but the concept for Live Free or Die Hard, when they're sitting there, the hackers pull up all the information on John McClane. They drain his bank account, his retirement, his existence, and wipe him out completely digital in a few seconds. As if he never existed. And the fact that you could have an alien do that, could shut off the electric, the power, just the mass chaos that would cause. That is a challenge for Superman.
And that is extremely relatable as an audience. You know what I mean? You're able to watch that on screen and genuinely be genuinely be terrified, because that is something that we would all be so afraid of. All of us.
I mean, planes falling from the sky. I mean, I would even take, if they don't do Brainiac for Man of Steel 2, and they want to hold off on Darkseid or whatever they do, I think Brainiac would be great for just the Justice League, period.
I was about to say, that would be a great Justice League villain.
And do it like a disaster movie in the sense of they have to stop natural floods, things like that.
Because think about how much chaos that one villain can cause.
Exactly. And that's why I'm plugging so hard for Brainiac. Because, of course Brainiac can affect and have drones and stuff like that, so you have something for the heroes to fight physically, but then all the other stuff they has to do. Yep. So we'll jump to the last piece of the news that was actually announced today. I guess Billy Crudup is pulled out of the Flash movie because it's taking so long to get made.
Oh, wow.
Which really stinks because he's already filmed scenes as Henry Allen for Justice League.
Gosh, and he would have been great, too.
So the only thing I can think of is if they get the Flash movie back on track and are able to renegotiate with him. Because right now the Flash, like we talked about, still searching for director. and everything right now. And I think
crazy.
I think they're kind of holding out till Justice League to see the reaction of fans, if they like Flash or what to really push for with a Flash movie.
That's a shame.
Like, I feel like everything is riding on Justice League other than Aquaman. Like, they already know that with Momoa, people are sold. Like you were saying, like, it's the first time we're getting this BA Aquaman.
Yeah.
So everyone's on board.
Well, it's such an epic thing to finally have Aquaman on the big screen. And in such a way where we're not sitting there laughing at him. You know what I mean? Like, one of my favorite Family Guy episodes is when when Aquaman, is out in the water and this chick is getting harmed, and Aquaman, he's like, "Oh, I'd help you, but I can't do anything really." So he tries to call upon his fish friends, and it doesn't do anything. But anyway, so that's kind of like the concept that people have, though, of Aquaman. You get my point?
Yeah, it's like since the Super Friends, nobody's been like, my parents watch Big Bang Theory, and the episode they all dress up as the Justice League and Raj as Aquaman. He's like, Aquaman sucks, and he has like the horrible Aquaman costume. The day they released the picture of Momoa as Aquaman, I sent a meme to my dad. I made it had the Raj saying Aquaman sucks, and then Momoa next to it says not anymore. And I think that's the key right there. Is it's like, no, Aquaman does not suck anymore.
No, you can't have an actor like Jason Momoa play Aquaman and laugh at him anymore, because Jason Momoa would personally come out and kill you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He would kick your butt.
And then, of course, we are in the middle of starting it, and we'll have a follow-up discussion. But Injustice 2 dropped, and we picked it up, and we are working through it. But that's all the news, catching up on everything that's major.
Injustice 2, by the way, is really awesome. I personally enjoyed it a lot more than the first Injustice. So, God's Among Us. Check it out. It's a cool thing.
It's very cool. Let us know what you think. Hit us up online. And remember, look up in the sky.